You said before that you never felt you truly knew who your dad was. Why?
He had a difficult upbringing. He grew up in the Newburgh poorhouse, which was essentially where, it wasn't homeless in those days, but his mother was a charwoman there. She took care of the kitchen, sort of cleaned up the bathrooms, the kitchens, whatever, and they got a room in the basement. So he came from that. He never really experienced his father. His father, I don't know, I don't think he was a very nice man. He took off when my father was very young.
So what about all of that do you think prevented you from knowing who your dad truly was?
I think he kept everything inside. He really kept a lot inside. He was an interesting guy. He never hit any of us, ever. But he would grab us, and he had these powerful hands. Just grabbing, but never struck anybody. So I think we were a little scared of him. One of my sisters had a sort of a gathering for him after he died, maybe about a month later. And I'm sitting with my sister, and it's a lot of people he had worked with. He was at Prudential, their headquarters in Boston. And we're listening to all these people raving about my dad and what a cool guy he was and neat and funny and all this stuff. And my sister looks at me and she goes, "Who are they talking about?" Because we never saw that guy.
Why not?
I don't know.
And as I understand it, he would have liked to have been a diplomat or an author.
Yeah, no, he was a very bright guy. He was going to go to Georgetown and do graduate studies. And then I came along and that was the end of that. And then he drove a bread truck for like 6 years.
What would you have liked to have known about him?
I think, in his later years, we got closer and we would talk, 2 or 3 times a week on the phone and stuff. And I go up there and meet him and stuff. So, see he and my mother. I would have liked to have gotten to that point earlier. He was very competitive with me, which is kind of bizarre. I remember we had this long driveway in the country, and when I'm little, and he used to once a year he'd want to race me, and when I finally got like I was around 12 and I was going to kick his butt, and he just kind of elbowed me off the road. He wasn't going to lose. And if we would play golf, if he was losing on the 18, he'd say, "Okay, we'll wipe out the scores. It's all about this hole." So even if he was behind 4, we were only going to count the 18th hole. So he didn't like to lose.
Your mom,
yeah.
What would you say is the role she played in your life?
She was the mom. She was the home. I mean, not to be, but this is the reality of her. She was the homemaker. She was to make the meals and, kind of push you a little bit. Nobody pushed me that much academically because I always did well in school. So that was never a deal with them. I mean, their only thing, and it wasn't really joking, "Oh, you got a 97, why didn't you get a 99? I don't know. I got something wrong.
You said before your parents had a bit of a drinking
problem.
Yeah.
Functioning alcoholics kind of thing.
How do you think?
Nice people, good people. And the thing is, I did therapy for 1 year, and it was great. If I had a little chip on my shoulder, that's my dad, that's not me. Like if you get mad at a cab and you go, "Well, that was kind of, why would I get that mad at the cabbie?" And that's my dad, because he would get angry. And it helped me to get past that.
How?
But also not to blame him, because I understood what it was. And I could go, "Okay, that's my dad." But and then not to blame him for it.